Welcome back to Oh, and the World Plays Out of the Park Baseball 21 as the Chicago White Stockings. It is time for the 1886 offseason. So, between episodes, I have figured out what has happened and made a bug report. The Indianapolis Hoosiers have come over and switched leagues with the Cleveland Blues. The Hoosiers were previously... No, that's not what I needed. Come on. League history. History index. Were previously the Kansas City Cowboys. The Cleveland Blues had been playing over on the National League as the St. Louis Maroons. So we may still have one or two more flips, but that explains. But Fred Dunlop managed to win the National League MVP playing in the American League because his team moved to the National League after the season ended. Yeah, that's confusing. So anyways, our goal this offseason will be to find some pitching. Unfortunately, based on where we finished, we will have the 13th pick in the draft. Well, best case scenario, 13th pick. Oh boy, I've received a personal message. Yeah, Peekaboo Beach might fit our needs, all of that. You know what I did not check out was our retired players after this season. There were quite a lot, actually. Wow. So hits, anybody who got over 1,000 will highlight. Jim Ferran played for us for a few years. Nice career for him. You know, the good, not great. A good ball player. We got 2 good years out of him. Actually, he played for us for 4, but we got 2 really good years from him. So he retired. Also crossing it, Charlie Paver, who also played for us for a few years. We only had him for a brief 2-year stop. Again, the good to great. He'll be an interesting case. He had one really good year playing for us. He led the league in RBIs. And then lastly, we have George Wright, who spent his entire career playing for whatever became the Philadelphia Quakers. We went to Troy, Philadelphia. I think we went back to Troy. Yeah, he's a very good player. He will be a Hall of Fame player. Probably one of the best shortstops in the early game. I mean, a career .310 hitter. He amassed almost 1,500 hits. He came up 1 shy. That does suck for him. And then pitchers, I think the only one of note is Frank Buttery, who played for us briefly. And if I remember correctly, was taken in an expansion draft way back when. So, again, a very interesting player to talk about. You know, worth 18 wins overall. Really, he had 5 good seasons, and then he just kind of disappeared into being a reliever. So that's who we got. Our goal this offseason is to upgrade our pitching. Oh boy, trade proposal. Only Nolan, who I think we don't want at this point. I mean, it's really weird to say he was the best pitcher in the league for a hot minute, and now he's not. You would trade me unknown. You want me to trade unknown Scott and Ed Seward? Yeah, I'm not giving up Ed Seward. Ed Seward actually has some potential. Flip Lafferty has an off-field injury, a fractured eye socket. He'll be out for 9 months. Well, that sucks for Flip. Although I don't think it really sucks for his team because I don't think he was contributing. And we have a trade. The Cleveland Blues have shipped George Pinckney and Joe Flynn for Jumbo Davis and Charlie Kramer. Charlie Kramer, I think he got traded already. This is actually kind of a big trade. Pinckney is not a great player, but borderline starter. You get it right. Joe Flynn, again, borderline starter. I mean, it's two backups for Jumbo Davis. Again, borderline starter. His biggest issue is the defense. And Charlie Kramer, who, I mean, if you need somebody for defensive purposes, I guess you make the trade. But, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that one goes to Cleveland because they got two bench players for one bench player. So, I mean, at this point, we need to go look. We need to go into player trades. That's the best way to do this. I doubt there's any. Well, there's something going on. Yeah. Free agents? Yeah, there's nobody there. Player trade. Get Major League Baseball. So who is in rebuilding mode? Who might take something if they have a star? They have Bob Black and Pete Conway. Or they trade either of them. I mean, I'd love to grab Bob Black from the Orioles. The Orioles were where? Way at the bottom. They don't need him. Actually, they should be much better. They got Pete Conway, too. And Charlie Buffington. That's actually surprising. They have three really good pitchers. I mean, Charlie Buffington should be better than that. So, yeah, what do you want for Bob Black? Yeah, I know I don't have anything. But if I start throwing random things at you, will you take them? Slim Bullis? You want Slim Bullis, don't you? And, no, stop. I didn't need you to move like that. Pat Scanlon? Of course, you want those players. Are we close to something? Yeah, I'm going to have to wait until after the draft, I think, is going to be the big thing. Because then I'll have Twitchell as bait for anybody. Yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't much for me to do in the winter meetings. Yeah, Ross Barnes can go down as the greatest of all time. Ooh, would send me... Okay. I just need to tell you, I'm not interested. I don't want him. Okay. Moving on. Hall of Fame voting. This is where we get to make some decisions. Probably not. I don't know if there's going to be any changes to who was eligible. Well, Brooklyn ships Nolan off to Philadelphia. Brooklyn got Taylor Schaefer and John Tenner and dealt the only Nolan and Charlie Daughtry. So what do they get? Charlie Taylor? Okay, he's basically a defensive player. Not somebody I'd have made a move for. And John Tenner, who definitely not. Wow, they really did not take much. I mean, yeah, Philadelphia is winning this one by far. I mean, I wouldn't have traded for him because I think my starters are better, but that's not to say they're not. And it's the same three guys, Carlton, Craver, Fisher. I'm going to pass on all of them again. I know it's not very exciting, but we are big haul or small haul focused. except for our players, and then we'll vote for probably all of them. Yes, Peekaboo Veach, we'd love to have him, but we can't get there yet. We need to get through the first year player draft because then all of our toys, we have more players. Yes, I'd love to have Charlie Sweeney as well. You know me all too well. Okay, the first year player draft. There are 18 picks because 2 teams are going to have second picks in this one. Lovely. Who got them? So the Orioles will have the 2nd and the 4th picks. Oh, that's going to... Oh, joy. Well, that'll help them considerably. Let's see. I don't see a 2nd Louisville, Cincinnati. Not a 2nd Philadelphia. Nope. Brooklyn. Metropolitans. Wolverines. Cleveland Blues. The Alleghenies. No. Browns. And the Giants have the 12th and the 14th. Well, that I don't think is going to work out. It's a 77-player draft, so that means roughly 4 picks for us. Maybe a 5th. My math is right, but the 5th will probably be picked for us. So, overall, Jim Handebo, the best available. Louisville takes Mike Tiernan. I take a right fielder. 2nd pick, Baltimore. They've got the 4th, remember, coming too as well. Mike Griffin. Wow. Okay, 3rd pick, going to Cincinnati. They take Handebo. Good pick on their part. 4th pick, Baltimore again. McKeon. 5th pick, Lave Cross goes to the Quakers. Man, they're just... Brooklyn gets Tommy Foghorn Tucker. The Metropolitans are going to get Darby O'Brien. George White Wings to Bo goes to Detroit. Cleveland takes George Van Haltren. Interesting pick. Because he's a potential guy, but he's not really that great a potential. Pittsburgh takes Jocko Fields. That was one of the better players available in this draft. Jack Peach Pie O'Connor goes to the Browns. The Giants take William Big Bill Brown. Indianapolis is going to take Silver King. New York, with their 2nd pick, takes Patsy Tebow. So now it's up to us. This is interesting. Scouting director recommendation. Joseph Hare, a shortstop. So really he can play a lot of positions, but not really any well. Enjoys playing out. Heine Koppel. Why is he rated so high? But he's the better player. He's the better version of that. Now, Ed Baton. Is it worth taking a starting pitcher? I think I've got to compare him against my guys. I don't want to compare him, Chicago players. So how does he compare against somebody like Old Hoss Radbourn? Ratings-wise. Radburn's the better pitcher. He has the potential to be a little bit better. They're really the same pitcher, though. So, the question comes down to who I want. I mean, Heine Koppel gives me a better player. I think he's more tradable. He can play more positions. He provides depth across the organization. How does he look as an outfielder? I mean, he's a decent outfielder, so he could play the corners. You know, he's really probably a second baseman. I'm going to take Heine Koppel. I mean, if Baton is there, I'm going to take him next time. He won't be. Yeah. So now we're looking at somebody like Mark Baldwin, who could potentially start. I think we've got to take the flyer. We need more starting pitchers in our organization. Are you going to agree with me? We both agree. We'll take Baldwin. So a relief pitcher or a 23-year-old catcher who can't hit. So the best remaining hitter is this guy, Kid Madden, who could provide some hitting. I mean, I think the value's in him at this point. I mean, we're really looking at one more pick. Yeah, this is going to be our last pick. So, probably Charlie Sprague. He's got the best of everything. He's the best hitter and the best pitcher left. So, we need to remember some of that. But, coming up next will be Rule 5. So, Halpin. Do I want to protect Halpin for any reason? He was my 6th round pick. I don't see why I would protect him. He really does not add anything to my organization. He's a depth guy. I don't mind if we lose him. Dick Kramer, I don't mind if I lose either of them. Negotiate with my draftees. We did that. Play until the Rule 5 draft. At this point, the draft pools or anybody we want to chase in this. Anybody who's got something to offer? No. Let's look at batting ratings. All players, anybody here we should be chasing? No. This is kind of, I mean, yeah, none of these guys are worth it. So, start draft. Yeah, complete thing. Yeah, we don't want any of those guys. Yeah, Norm Baker is the only person selected by the Metropolitans. I mean, if you need a bullpen arm, I guess you do it, but... Okay, Hall of Fame voting results. See if anybody made it. And we have Hall of Fame voting results, so let's see what happens. And nobody makes it, and Jim Carlton gets dropped off. Cherokee Fisher stays about the same. These guys should have accepted their offers. Okay, so they've shipped Bobby Mitchell and Dick Burns, St. Louis, one of them, to the Boston Beaneaters in exchange for Lou Brown. So Lou Brown now plays for the St. Louis Browns. Ooh. That's not a bad player to get. Bobby Mitchell still got something. And Dick Burns? Ooh, man. That sucks. If Boston got both those guys, like, I see why the deal was done. Like, I think it's win-win both ways, but we're chasing Boston, and they just got two good arms. Potential backup starters who are comparable to our guys. Like, that fucking sucks. Sorry for cursing, but that sucks. So, it is time to go play the trade game. Again, now that there are more players, the Orioles are rebuilding. I want Bob Black. I want Bob Black. So let me go to AAA. I will throw Twitchell in because now I can trade Twitchell. He gives me a trade bait. Okay, the active roster. Which of the starters am I willing to give up? I mean, I think at this point, it's got to be Radburn over Hickman. I mean, if I got to throw them both in, we'll do it. Hickman, I think, still has something. He's better than Radburn. So I'll trade Radburn. I'm giving you something. Don't talk back to me. We still haven't gotten there. Hickman. Will you take Hickman? I'll pay for you to take Hickman. We still haven't gotten to something. Okay, I guess that's a pipe dream. We remove Bob Black. Let me see if I can get Pete Conway. Oh, but you'll discuss it now. Doopy Shaw? Is that what I got to give you? Is Doopy Shaw? For Pete Conway, who we think is the better pitcher. We're going to gamble. Doopy Shaw, come on down. Empty this thing out. Yeah, I know. This is a old people for young people thing. Would you throw Buffington in? Okay, what do you want to throw Buffington in? Yeah, you want real players. I thought we'd gotten close. I mean, Jumbo Latham doesn't give me anything. You got old guys you'll give up? Yeah, it was Jumbo Latham. I figured it was worth it. Worth a shot. John Connor, would you throw a reliever in? I mean, you started him. And what are you looking for? You're looking for real stuff there. I know. You think I should be asking for more, but there's not much left. Lou Hardy, would you give me him? I mean, not even that I like him, but... Pop Shriver? What else do you want? Yeah, you want real stuff again. Okay, so Doopy, I'm not going to pay for Doopy. I'm not going to pay for Ernie. Oh, you need some money from Ernie. Okay. I'll give you 75% of it? Okay, I'll just pay for Ernie. We're going to trade for Pete Conway, who has the potential to be great. He can hit, which is a little bit of an added bonus. He's also 20. He was the 3rd overall pick. And he's intelligent on and off the field. This is going to be a crazy trade. The Indianapolis Deputies. We're making them better, but I think we're making ourselves better with this. Yeah, I know you don't like that, but we're doing the quantity for quality thing here. So, now our starting rotation. Backley's 22, Casey's 24, and Conway is 20. I mean, the next big trade we need to find is we need to find a backup catcher. We need to find our next catcher. So, let's go back to the drawing board and see who's hanging around. I don't know what we have left to trade, but Red Stockings by position. Your major league. We'll take the entire active roster. That's fine. John Clapp and Wilbur Robertson. I don't think I want him. Red Stockings, Blues, Cal McVay's hanging around. Fred Carroll? Yeah, I'd like to have Fred Carroll. I just don't know how I get Fred Carroll. What do you want? You obviously want pitching. What would it take? Yeah, this is going to have to be a multi-part deal, isn't it? These are all the things that I have. Ed Seward? Yeah, I figured that one going to bite you. Cyclone Miller? We'll start throwing relievers at you. Let's see. Do you want random crappy catchers? I have those. That seems to be what everybody's valued. Simbolus? Does that pique your interest? Okay, I thought it was worth a shot. We do need to make some moves though with players that grow up. Yeah, Baldwin to make the jump to AAA. Who is the other guy we just got? Was it McMullen? No, it was Kid Matt, wasn't it? Yeah, Kid Matt. So what other position could he play? Probably not much. Oh, that's the downside. Kid Madden, game strategy. He gets to be used as a two-way player. I'm going to let him play first base just because I want him to get some at-bats. Hopefully that was enough. I doubt it was. Heading towards when the preseason begins. You've raised my budget. It doesn't do me any good. Detroit trades Stovey. 30-year-old Harry Stovey. Okay. Like, that's a good player. Like, I wouldn't mind having him on my roster. I think we're better. They got John McGlone. That's kind of useless. Connie Mack, who, oh wow, he's fallen off a cliff. Or no, sorry. I'm thinking Comiskey. Charlie Comiskey. This is Connie Mack. Connie Mack, that's not very good. Bones Eli. And John Hibbard. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Athletics win that. Like, they got the best player in the deal, and there's no potential in those other guys to catch up. But that does make it really interesting. Let's see if we make it all the way to spring training. I doubt we do. I'd love to have Peekaboo Beach, but I don't think that's going to turn up anything for me. So Phil Baker's hanging around. So the question is, how does he compare to Pop Snyder? Okay. Chicago players. He's the better player. Defensively, Pop Snyder is better. He gives me a little more flexibility. And is 2 years younger. I mean, I can always trade for John Clapp, but that's a short-term thing. At least if I had Phil Baker, So let me send a scouting report here. See if we can get a little more knowledge there. Yeah, I'm sure I received. Yeah, I mean, this is one of these where I feel like I need to make the trade. I mean, you know, Pop Snyder's a good player, not great. Now that's just annoying. Um, you know, would you take Tom York? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. I mean, it's not one we really need to make. It's a backup catcher. What are you looking for? I mean, if I have something I can give you, I'll do it. Do I have any, you know, of these guys who are just like, you're like, I don't know why that person exists. Okay, you actually are close. What do I have? Can I throw Charlie Baker on? I don't need him. I mean, Tom York does not add anything to my team. I can basically pay you to take this problem with garbage minor leaguers. I think that's a good deal. I know it's a weird player to get, but it gives us a better backup catcher. I'd rather have a better backup catcher. I mean, if they've got anybody else old they'd love to give us, Joe Battens too doesn't provide anything. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I'll take Will White. I don't think it really does much. But you got to take guys like that sometimes. When you chuck Tim Keefe in, what do you want? Hopefully you want something random. Is Jones' character? I'm good with that. I don't know why you think that's not a fair deal. Okay, I'm fine with that. I trade an aging player who won't do anything for me. We do have to force the Oyster Burns conversation. I need him to play a little bit of left field. Well, he's gone downhill. That's a little frightening. But I now have Phil Baker. I get to add Tim Keefe. I feel better. We did something. I know. We're just making random trades at this point. Sometimes that's all that happens. Okay, so preseason predictions. Red Sox or Red Stockings? I'm sure it's them. Oh, it's the Boston Bean Eaters. They think Pittsburgh's past us. Oh boy. Brothers, Thompson, Anson, Oyster Burns. Good. I like Oyster Burns and Fenley. We've got 5 of the best hitters in the league. We're going to score runs. They believe that. 990. We might cross 1,000 runs. They also don't believe we're going to stop them. That's the bigger part. None of our pitchers showed up. Oh boy. We've got some work to do. Conway, KCB, Backley, right. We did what we could. So we try to fly through player development, Jersey, Backley. His overall improves. That's good. Dan Brothers, his contact has gone down. He's only 28. And he's still good. He's still great. And Frank Fennelly, his overall and potential rating drops, but his current and potential power rating improves. The average might go down. That's, jeez. Cleveland's Carroll hurt in accident. Fred Carroll, 5 to 6 weeks. This is that trade nobody really cared about. Play till next week. I would love to pursue that, but they're not going to trade him. We want somebody to come to us with a blockbuster. Next week, geez, that only gets us to the 14th. Next week, 21st. Actually, this will work perfectly. August 28th will give me plenty of time to flippity floppity people around. The 28th. While you're doing that, we'll take the quick little freeze. We're in the discussion. I think that's important. Okay. So, we've got to get this roster down. We're going to get rid of 6 people. So 4, then 4, there's 12 pitchers. There's 9 pitchers. I don't need 9 pitchers. And I can't send Ting down. So Ting, you're getting shopped. I'll pay for somebody to take him off my hands. We'll see what we can get. Apparently there's a lot I can get, which is very promising. Okay, I can have Bobby Mitchell. Well, I might just make that trade. Buttercup Dickerson? Even that's a good deal. Everybody's looking to get rid of stuff. Jack Remsen, he's 35. I don't need that. Frank McCartan at Cogswell, Dorgan. Iodont, he's been offered to me a couple of times. Okay. I mean, Bobby Mitchell gives me options. He is 31. Buttercup Dickerson, again, gives me options. I don't really need him. Parents have named their newborns after Buttercup. Well, for that reason alone, we're going to make that trade. I'm not going to pay them to take Jim Ting. Boston, why are you giving him up? I mean, this seems a little silly. I've got Ezra Sutton. Would you send me him? And he can still play. That's a hitter. I mean, yeah, he was going to veto that the whole way. I mean, Mike McGeary. I mean, I don't really want Mike McGeary, but if I've got people that have to go, should take John O'Rourke as part of this. Can I pay for both of them? I mean, okay, so you think we're close. Who is this guy? Okay. Yeah. I can take money off of him? Okay. Close enough. I mean, I win that. That's a dynamite trade from my end. I got 2 Major League ready players. I mean, we'll see how that all works out. I still need to get rid of people. Pop Snyder, you're going to be upset with me. Yeah, you refuse to be demoted. Phil Baker, though, I could set down. First base. I don't need 4 first basemen. Jim Field, you are up for that. Reason Householder, I'm going to need to do something with. Burdock is my leader. Barkley, Gerhardt, Anson, Radcliffe, McGeary, Fenley. Right. And a boatload of outfielders. So actually, not too many. What do we do with Pike? I mean, because we really can't keep sticking him out there. Did he hit 292? That really is a deal? At 41, he hit 292. I mean, McCaffrey can go down. That's just an extra body at this point. O'Brien's the best. I can send Manziel down. I need to get rid of 2 more. I mean, it may need to come from the pitcher collection. So it's going to be the Hutchinson and Householder are getting shipped out together. I think that's the way this is going to go. Yeah, Hutchinson and Householder. See what somebody will give us for that pair. Anything we can get. I mean, especially something we can send to the minors. Bobby Mitchell, Charlie Bennett. I mean, another outfielder who provides a little bit of defense and a bat. McCartan. Mike Dorgan. John Morrill. I don't need that. Charlie Robinson. I mean, Bill Nelson, you think he's got a future? Not really. I mean, I feel like I'd rather just have him hanging around in case I need him. You know, if we're trading for things that we might need, and this is Boston again. I mean, we both have emptied out what we can get from each other. We're trading each other's flotsam and jetsam at this point. What do you have down AAA? You don't have much, do you? Oh, you've still got a spring training roster. That's the problem. So, Charlie Smith, do you offer anything? I mean, like, that's garbage, but it's tradable garbage. I mean, let me take the money off, see if that still works. Okay. Charlie Hotz, why is he still hanging around? I mean, he's tradable, I guess. I mean, he's 35, so you'll probably just throw him in. Bill Stearns, he's not on a major league contract. I mean, we'll take him. Let's get things that might be worse. Let's see what you'll give me. Joe Gunson? See if you'll throw that in, too. It's close, huh? Is that enough cash? Can I throw some cash at it? $100. $200. $500? I don't have that much cash. $400. $300. Okay, what do you want? What piece of garbage on my roster? You want Dick Kramer. Oh, you want a 31-year-old catcher. Robert Foster. You can have Robert Foster. Now, can I start taking money off these guys? Okay. So that's the trade. It's a lot of weird pieces. I mean, basically it breaks down to we're taking Bobby Mitchell for these two guys and collecting random pieces. And so then you're going to discuss that as being what the hell just happened. Householder for Gunson. That really wasn't what that trade was. Because Gunson's a minor league catcher. But, I mean, he at least has backup written all over him. And Bobby Mitchell's the only one I need to deal with. So I can come looking at my pitchers. Tim Keefe. I don't think you're going to start. Now, will you accept minor? Yeah, that was going to be the only thing. I got to send somebody down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infielders. Still 6 outfielders. Wait, how did I get there? 8, 6, 8, 16. That's the problem. Somebody's got to go. I mean, Fred Corey throws a little bit, batting stats. How much does he? He started 3 games. I think we can live without Fred Corey for a year. And I think he's the one. So we've got it at 25. So the bigger piece is now we get to play who ends up on waivers. Unknown Quinn is on waiver wire. Yeah, that's not really worthwhile. All players. So let's play a day. Anybody else show up? Nope. Finish one more. Today. Finish today. Wow. We received our personal message, season expectations. We should reach the playoffs, top 100. Nobody from us, as we've been trading them. And the last piece, preseason predictions. We are now predicted to win 93-47, but also to score 1,087 runs. Wow. You think Casey and Conway. Wow, 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 wow. So let's see if this does play out. 93 wins, but it took 100 and some to win last time. So we will hold our breath. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we have made enough moves to get there, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.